wieder will.
Here we go. During my initial book purging in the past week, I not only had some books sent back to me or returned, I also repriced some books that I felt had a chance to sell. Now, I'm not sure exactly how many, but it wasn't too many because I only am getting returned about 20 books so far, and I at least repriced anywhere between 5 and 10 books, so not a ton, not even as many as I've returned. But these are books that seem like they had some potential based upon sales history, number of FBA offers, that sort of thing. Also, even though you might have to lower the price really low, it's better to, even if you're going to make $1 or $2 off of the book, to make $1 or $2 than to get it returned and have to dispose of the book, unless you have a good way of disposing of it for more money. Consider repricing if you haven't repriced these books and they've been sitting for over a year or a long time, at least 6 to 12 months, but I was looking at books mostly over a year. I have quite a few more to go over, so I have about a half of the month left to do that, so I'll have to finish that up. But interesting thing happened during the process of purging is I actually sold 2 of the books that I repriced. And again, I didn't reprice that many. So one of them had to do with the White House. It was a larger kind of picture book. And another one had to do with writing poetry. And these are books that I've had since October of 2014. They've been sitting at Amazon for a year and a half. So the White House book sold for $9.95. That actually is pretty good. I'm happy with that. I lowered it to $9.95 and I was able to get the sale, even though when I listed the item, it was ranked at about 2.5 million, and it sat for so long. There just were not many sales happening, but apparently the buyer came along and they bought it. So sometimes people are looking at the listing, but they just don't want to pull the trigger yet based upon the price. Maybe they want a prime offer. I don't know the circumstances. Or this could have just been the one person that came along and wanted to buy it and it was right timing. I'm not sure. But I'm pretty certain that there's still people looking at these books as long as it's not a book that's ranked obscenely high. This one was not ranked 12 million or something like that. So the right person came by and bought it for $9.95, which is great. I don't remember how much money I spent on it, but despite it sitting there for about 18 months, which is going to be at most about 35 cents of monthly storage fees, plus inbound shipping, which was probably, let's say, 50 cents or so. So about maybe 80 cents, 85 cents into the book, plus what I paid for it, which I think was $1 or $2. Still made a bit of a profit off of it, not much. So that was worth it. And the other one that I sold that had to do with writing poetry sold for much less. I listed it at $5.95, and this was because there was a lot of other FBA offers, but I had a very good copy. And so I listed it up against some other good ones. There's one that's now down to $4.31, and there's a couple others around $6. I'm not sure if those prices were exactly where they were or where they are now when I changed the price, but nonetheless, I got the sale for $5.95. And if you were wondering, Amazon paid me $1.41. I actually got that book at a bag sale, so I only paid about 15 cents for it. And it sat for a long time. I probably didn't really make any money if you consider 15 cents and the storage, which is maybe about 30, 40 cents, inbound shipping. So I might have made 50 cents, 80 cents off of it, but it's definitely better than having to get the book back and dispose of it myself. At least they can get rid of it by selling it, and I make $1.41. So if you ever want to list something for $5.95 and know what you want and want to know what you're going to get paid, there you go. Now, of course, if you have a larger item and it weighs a lot more, then they're going to charge you more. Or if the item is really lightweight, and even if it's like a CD, it's really lightweight, then it's probably going to be a little bit more, around $1.50, maybe a tad more. When you see those listings for $5.95 or less, just know that the seller, they're not getting paid much unless they're doing a huge volume and they're getting things for a quarter or a dime, which some of these large mega seller, FBA mega sellers are likely getting. So I just felt it was worth talking about because it's great to get items returned back to you for free and to get them out of your inventory so you don't continue to pay for them and just have them take up space. But the ones that make sense for trying to reprice and sell, you should definitely do it and give it a shot. If you really feel they really have a legitimate chance of selling. Clearly, this offer of returning the items for free is over at the end of April, so you don't have much time to try to resell these or to try to reprice and sell these. So the window is very, very small. But if you feel that that it makes sense and you think that just dramatically dropping the price could make a sale, then why not? Go for it. Depends on the book and depends on the situation. But 2 already for me, and I'm going to probably reprice a bunch more. Hopefully I'll get some more sales. If not, then I'll either have to take advantage of the free returns this month or have to pay for it. But nonetheless, I was excited about that, and it's always nice when you go back and reprice and actually some of them sell. That's the point, whether you're manually repricing or whether using a repricer. You want your items to sell that you're repricing. So yeah, take advantage of it. If you're in there anyway, getting stuff returned. Unless you just don't want to take the risk at all and just get it returned to you, the books. I understand that. I totally understand. But I guess I'm stubborn and I'm just optimistic also to a degree and hoping that they'll sell, and a few did. So hopefully some more will sell. I sold a couple more from 2014, but those I did not reprice. I sold another one for $10.95 that had stayed at that price since 2014 and finally sold after about 18 months. Some of these really long tails, but not making much money off of them. So good luck with repricing and with those returns, but definitely let's get our inventory a little bit leaner and meaner, i.e. quicker selling, not sticking around too long for longer tail items unless you're going to make great profit. I would say at least going to make $20+ in profit off of those books. Well, at least selling them for $20+, I would say. Minimum, maybe even more, maybe 25 to 30 or more. If a book's going to sit there for 6 months to a year or up to 18 months. So it's up to you and how you want to approach it. But I would recommend taking a look at those older books and taking advantage of this free opportunity Amazon is gifting us because they want tons of inventory taken off of their shelves that are not moving, clearly. Especially probably in anticipation of, well, some of the big rushes, some of the holidays coming up as clearly, but also back to school, that sort of thing. As always, remember, keep booking.
Wow! Ganda na pa rin.